When professional boxers understand our economy better than the most prestigious Ph.D. economists, it's a bit of a marker for how far our so-called elite has fallen. Last week, UFC fighter Renato Money Moicano gave a spirited victory speech, saying, quote, "If you care about your effing country, read Ludwig von Mises and the 6 lessons of the Austrian school, Mother Lovers." So what are these 6 lessons, and why should mother lovers read them? Comes from a 1959 series of lectures where Mises lays out 6 truths that built the world around us, and how we can preserve it. Chapter 1 is called Capitalism, and describes how countries get rich. So in short, people produce stuff, and rather than spend everything they earn, they set some aside to invest. So you might catch 5 fish, eat 3, sell the other 2 for some rope to make a net. Presto, now you catch 10 fish a day. Note the missing ingredient, government. They have no role to play beyond staying out of the way. It's all people-powered. Chapter 2 is socialism, which is the opposite of people-powered. It means government decides. Men are now slaves, cogs in somebody else's machine. Now you catch 5 fish, your commissar takes all 5, and if you're lucky, he gives you 1 to eat. Well, what happens? Tomorrow you catch 4, then 3, then 2. Why bother if it's all taken away? So no net, no growth. You're lucky if there's enough to eat. Chapter 3 is intervention. This is in between. The government doesn't own you, it merely directs you. This roughly describes our current economy. Of course, it's unstable because every intervention screws something up. So price ceilings, price floors, subsidies, taxes, they all create shortages and distortions to be fixed by yet another intervention, which creates more distortions to fix, and so on and so on. On it goes step by step, creeping towards full-blown socialism. Look at, say, public education or healthcare, and you can see industries at various stages of this process, each failure driving it deeper into full government control. Chapter 4 is inflation. Here Mises describes how government spending drives inflation by pouring in money but never pouring in physical resources. In fact, the interventions are shrinking the economy. So more money chasing less stuff, with the new money going to the rich and the rest struggling to survive. 5 is foreign trade, where Mises argues that freedom and prosperity are maximized when anybody can trade with anybody. Consider, for example, if you could only buy things made in your city, so no iPhones or Fords for you unless they're made down the street, we would all be on the edge of starvation. Of course, the caveat here is governments can and do make businesses so uncompetitive that it feels impossible to compete, in which case the obvious solution is end the interventions. The final chapter 6 is on ideas. Mises worries that interventionist government armed with income taxes and inflation, the 2 big ones, will inevitably get so much power it sets the people against one another, leading to civil war as well as old-fashioned inter-country war. He argues we must shrink government to disarm this ticking time bomb. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. Liberty is always unpopular with governments because it's the competition. If men are not slaves, if they are free, then governments lose their superpowers. Fortunately, despite 12 to 16 years of public education, despite a slavishly pro-state media, hundreds of millions still believe in freedom, including professional boxers. The bad guys have all the cards. They use our taxes against us, after all, but we have the truth. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.